What's up, guys? Chris over here at Cover 7. We got a good one Saturday coming up here. We got Ohio State going on the road at Illinois. Just real quick, guys, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's liked, commented, and subscribed. Helps a small channel out like myself. So just want to say thank you, and I truly, truly appreciate that. With that being said, I'll go into it here. I'll talk about both teams and then kind of give my prediction here at the end. So we'll start with Ohio State as they're the road team, 5-0 on the year. They decimated Minnesota at home last week, 42-3. Quarterback Julian Sayin, dude, this guy needs to be talked about a little more in the old Heisman race. I know it's super early, but this kid's putting up some pretty impressive numbers this far. Over 1,300 yards, 80.2 completion percentage. Unbelievable numbers there, which is crazy. 13 touchdowns to go along with the 3 INTs. He's only been sacked twice. Just tells you how good that that Ohio State line of scrimmage is. They don't let anybody get to the quarterback. Running back Bo Jackson, he has emerged as the go-to guy. Just another great Ohio State running back, and I'm sure he'll go to the NFL and do great things like all those guys do. It's crazy how many good running backs Ohio State puts out in the NFL. Look, hard to find any better receiving core as well. You want to talk about NFL talent. It's hard to beat Jeremiah Smith on the outside, Carnell Tate. Both these guys combined got 10 touchdowns on the year. They got almost over 800 yards. These two are very, very good. On the other side of the ball, the defense, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, if you guys been watching any sort of football, you know this defense was probably number one in the country last year. I would say right now they're the best defense I've seen so far this year. I'll just give you a couple ranks here. They rank third in total defense, 21st against the run, fourth in passing yards allowed, and then 22nd in the country in sacks. They got 14 on the year, so they can get to the quarterback. No surprise, it is Ohio State. On the other side of the ball here, I don't know how much of you guys know about Illinois. I was relatively high on them to start the year. Now, they did get blown out by Indiana. I think if those teams played probably 10 times, it's probably a lot closer than 63-10. Regardless, though, Illinois has picked it up on offense, beating USC and Purdue last week. Purdue, that was a kind of a weird game. I did take Illinois -7 in that game, so I kind of sweated it out there at the end. Purdue did move the ball quite easily in Illinois. Here's the thing, though. One thing I did notice about Illinois, wide receiver Hank Beatty, this is Luke Altmaier's go-to guy 67% of the time, I swear. He's got 32 catches on the year, 569 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty good run after the catch receiver as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against this Ohio State secondary, which is probably the best in the country, in my opinion. Now, I touched on him, quarterback Luke Altmaier. This guy, I expect him to play well in this game. Luke Altmaier has been around for a long time. He's seen probably every sort of defense. He's played on the road in about every sort of environment. Very veteran quarterback. He's got over 1,500 yards on the year, 12 touchdowns, 0 INTs, which is very impressive there. Running back Caden Fegan. This guy's a monster. Dude's like 6'3", 250. He's got 80 carries on the year for 316 yards. His counterpart, Khalil Valentine, actually has more yards, and he has 3 touchdowns as well. So kind of a two-headed monster back there for Illinois. Like I said, Illinois' offense, from what I noticed, pretty damn balanced. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Outside the Indiana game, they've been putting up some pretty good numbers this year. On defense, though, this is where I have tons of concerns. Look, this is just their ranks right now, and just something I kind of noticed about Illinois, which is kind of shocking for a Brett Bielema-led team. This guy's usually smash mouth football, really good lines of scrimmage, great defense. This year, it's been a struggle defensively for Illinois. They rank 93rd in total defense, 62nd against the run. They absolutely suck against the pass. They rank 111th. Just FYI, there's only 138 teams in college football. They rank pretty low against the pass. They do get to the quarterback, though, which is a good thing in that regard. They do have 15 sacks on the year, which is tied for 37th. Now, my thoughts on this game, guys, and I'm just going to give you my unbiased opinion. I have no skin in this game. I have to say this before I make a pick. Essentially, I'm not an Ohio State fan. I'm not an Illinois fan. Now, I was pretty high on Illinois to start the year. I still think they're a pretty good team in the Big Ten. I like Bielema as a coach. Luke Altmaier is an experienced quarterback, as I mentioned. But look, I get the Illini are at home here, and I get it. And they're 14-point dogs currently. Understand it. Line seems about right there for the most part. They've been pretty good on offense, but here's my problem. You're running up against probably the best defense in the country. Get this stat, and I don't care if you want to say, well, who have they played type of thing for Ohio State. They're giving up 5 points a game. That's it. 5. Washington is not a bad team. They held them damn near scoreless. They beat up on a couple other cans of corn, and then also they, Texas, say what you will about them, they held them to 7 points. Ohio State is just too much here. They're a buzzsaw. I like Ohio State here, 31-10, guys, over Illinois. I really like to see Illinois put up a little more points, and maybe they do. This is just like I said, my prediction, but it's just hard to score on Ohio State. You might be able to move the ball between the 20s. You might kick a couple field goals. I just don't think you're scoring on this defense, man. And their secondary is elite. Caleb Downs is probably the best defensive player in the country, in my opinion. He is ridiculously good. So yeah, with that being said, guys, I got a couple more of these prediction videos coming out this week. Like I said, if you like the content, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.